Thank you, brother.
Nada.
Thank you, Giannis.
All right. Somehow that worked.
Yay!
Yeah. So Clayton, bro, it's oh gosh, it's been since 2011 or right around the time the Mayan calendar uh thing was going on before 2012 at Burning Man and the community in Utah since I've really seen you like in person. I've been following your journey and thank you, Wolpila. So much gratitude eternally for you joining. You're such an amazing human, and I know this energetically in person, social media wise, and all everything around that you're doing is inspiring me, dude. And like from building sustainable I see you out there pounding sustainable living tires and stuff, and a community that's organically built. I was in Colorado. Now you're in Hawaii. You're in Utah. You're all over the world. Currently now in mainland Hawaii, correct?
Yes,
And
loving.
I love the fact that someone chose to tune in with nature, actually in nature, because a lot of us are sitting here talking about connecting with nature, but here you are actually in nature, and that is so beautiful to me. I showed you this earlier. I got this in this. I don't know if you're supposed to do this, but I found this shell. I don't know, it makes noise, but you put in here the ocean. They say, but I found this shell in Maui, and we both have dear friends in Maui, and considering their situation, blessed that I hope it's getting cleaned up properly. Mainland is a whole different vibe. I've had our buddy of mine, Nick from Utah. The one I linked you up with about the car. He used to live out there. He said he's going back and invited me. I would love to check it out. It seems similar vibes like we were talking about to my experience with 3 months in Mexico on the coast, the water elements. But here we are with the Allred fire tribe, and fire and water seem to clash. So that's a whole nother thing. But like you were saying, you had something you wanted to open up, as in you would do in your ceremonies with the All Red Fire Tribe, just to connect with however you connect. And like, obviously from the heart, I love you, brother, for coming on, and thank you so much for your wisdom and your medicine. And I'm so excited for this to see where this one goes. It's been a long time. um and let's send it. Let's see here how we can tap Hawaii and Denver together through social media webs, and hopefully make that chispa spark to somebody that needs to hear something positive.
Well, earlier we were talking right before we came on camera, and actually, I'll give you the full, and people out there can join in what I would do to center and ground. And one of the things one of my fire troops that's part of All Red Fire Tribe does, and they're known as Breath of Fire, and we open up our shows with this actually because it's a very powerful Kundalini yoga
Mm.
practice. And um, I used to do a lot of ceremony back in the day. And I still do a fair amount, but um, uh, when I was facilitating, I'd always have people do this to open them up. And that's one of the reasons why I do it. But the first step is Belesema. And then draw in a circle, whatever it looks like. There's no right or wrong around you. I protect.
I protect.
And then I love.
Love.
I love myself. I love myself. I love myself.
I love myself. I love myself.
I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. And then putting your left hand on your heart and your right hand on top of your left. I gratefully acknowledge, accept, receive, and feel this divine love for myself now. And then just like loving yourself however you want to eat it up, feeling. And now into the Kundalini yoga practice. And the sphincter's closed throughout the entire practice. It's making a connection. So you're holding your ass tight, right?
Okay.
And your eyes are crossed, looking at your nose and gently gazed up. And throughout the entire practice. And we're going to do like a minute for those at home, but the recommended practice is at least 2 minutes and no more than 11.
Okay.
And
why you say no more than 11?
Because I think that at some point it's just you're not going to gain any more value out of doing more than that. There's a time and a space for all things, and pushing yourself beyond that, there could be better utilizations of your energy.
It's almost like if you've seen that movie Spinal Tap where it turns the guitar amp up to 11, right? It's like they don't go past 11, so like you're gonna blow the amp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I see.
Okay.
Claro, brother.
And so we're gonna start out like this, and we're gonna bring our hands together, and we're gonna hit these energy meridians together right here. These points.
Okay.
And when we do so, we're gonna say HUD. And the breath is coming from here. You're pulling your belly button into your spine and forcing the air out of your lungs. Okay? And you're just focused on the exhale. HUD, 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 HUD. And that's happening every time you make this connection. Okay?
Okay.
And the sphincter's closed throughout the whole thing. Eyes are crossed throughout the whole thing. And we're going to do it for a while. And then when I feel inspired to be done, I'm going to stop, take a deep inhale while rubbing my hands together. And then exhaling in the same manner, pushing my belly button to the spine, and energy's flowing this way down my arm and this way down my arm. And I'm going to touch my heart like in the center, the heart right there, not the actual heart, but right in the center.
Right in the center.
With my thumbs, with both those points on my thumbs, okay?
I see.
And then I'm going to inhale up. And right here, you can use your PC muscle to pump energy up and just allow your body knows what to do with that energy. And you can just pump it, pump it, pump it. And when you're ready to release, you open your crown chakra and let whatever color of golden, purple, whatever it is, dust fall all around you. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. You ready?
Yeah, let's send it, brother. This is beautiful.
And I invite anybody tuning in at home to practice this with us. It's very, very, very powerful. Okay, ready?
All right.
Deep inhale and begin. Hud, hud, hud,
Hug, hug,
hud,
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 hug,
hud.
hug, hug.
Deep inhale, exhale, pushing, connect to the heart. Inhale up, pump energy with your PC muscle,
Mm.
and open your crown chakra.
Wow, that's brother. I felt like we were like ancestral warriors connecting. Like, especially you're coming in here through with that tribal, Hawaiian tribal energy. Um, it's that was beautiful, man. I've never seen that version. I know that one position in Eastern they say is the Ananda, right? This one.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's but where does this root from? Did you make this up?
No, it was passed down to me from a Kundalini yoga teacher.
That's
Um,
right. That's right. I was so lost in the frequencies and the beautiful harmony that I forgot you said that.
yeah, her name's Susie Piper, and she's
Shout out to
definitely a huge inspiration and teacher in my life. Yeah. So,
nice, nice. Love it, man.
yeah.
I feel like lighter, very much lighter. That this part was fun though. Hug, 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 hug. What does that mean?
So it's actually because everything's frequency, right? Everything's vibrating.
Mm.
And we'll get into quantum mechanics just a little bit. There's shit tons of space in between everything that we think is solid, right? And
Yeah.
the more finite and the more we zoom in, the more space there is, we realize. And
Mm.
it's in direct proportion to the vastness of the stars and the distance in between fucking as above, so below in all things.
Yes.
And everything is vibrating and everything responds uh, to vibration. And when a vibration hits a certain frequency, there's different things. So the HUD sound actually can, when you get good at doing all of those things, and all of those things are happening because the subconscious is programmed and it's remembered that completely, and you can just
Mm.
fall into it. The jawbone can vibrate at a frequency that can actually release DMT from the pineal gland in a fairly large dose. And that
Wow.
is what's known as a Kundalini experience, right?
Right,
And
okay.
so that's actually what's happening. And I know it feels really funny a lot of times for a lot of people who are doing all of those things. Quite often there's a giggle, but those giggles, let them come up because they're releasing blockages that you might be having to the experience. So let them giggle. Let it
Yeah.
be funny. Let whatever needs to move, but I invite people to start this practice, especially the self-love practice.
Yes, yes, yes.
But when we're excuse me, when
Absolutely.
we're doing this, um, we're really opening everything up, and we're making connections that in the past haven't been made very often. We're human beings, and we are this super uh, computer board, if you want to look at it like that. And we have the ability to make all kinds of connections within ourselves, with our physical body.
Right. Like,
Where, imagine different light bulbs being hooked up to different circuits. You have the ability to make all kinds of connections that we as a society uh, often aren't making, and we're definitely not making those connections consciously. And
mm,
yeah, so light bulbs that are there, I'm just using this as a way to for everybody to understand. There's all kinds of there's a lighting system that's not being utilized.
oh,
Um,
yes. What would you call this? It's some of the quantum metaphysical lighting system. The unseen, maybe.
yeah, the human potential and what we are capable of has not even been tapped, not even kind of. Because have we really been exploring? Or have we been practicing or trying, like seeking out ancient practices? That and seeing what works and what doesn't, and
Mm,
really like giving it time, space, and energy to like explore? Or are we too caught up in our daily, this is our normal reality, I'm having this normal day and I'm going to do so tomorrow? That's
yeah.
most people on planet Earth right now. And I
Yeah, yeah.
see that changing as people discover and dive in, and ripple effects are happening, and consciousness is really waking up. And it has been for quite some time. And it's really cool to be in, you know, have been exposed to a lot of things early on that all just kind of happened to come together and overlay each other. And I had no idea, like,
Yeah, man. And it's like it's funny because I remember back in like the burner days for me, or like in the 2011 when I met you. Everyone's freaking about this Mayan calendar, the end of the world things coming, and you were on this like path, like whether you realized it or not. It seemed like you were on this path for a long time before this super cool new awakening is happening that's now it's becoming popular. um you know um and everyone's spiritual for some reason. But I always looked up to you. I didn't understand back then everything you were talking about. But although diving into the things I have dove in the path I've chosen since 2011, when we were hanging out here and there through the scene, um, I'm starting to see more clearly uh, how in tune you were back then. And to imagine your transformation now and Hawaii, mainland Hawaii, where you're at, being in an indigenous island, not even a part of the U.S. They call it, like what, like like aloha, brother. Like there's different languages and um, the Polynesians and all that stuff, and that the Howie culture or whatever. But they always call, like, when you regress or when return to the U.S. mainland, the other mainland, like I'm returning to mainland but you're on mainland island. They say that in Maui, but you're in a different vibration there. Um, and it's fresh to you, isn't it? It's like you just when did you get out there?
these November 7th.
Okay, Lucia just commented the Mayans never had a belief with the end. She's highly cosmically connected with the Mayan roots. It's in her blood. Had a belief with the end of the world calendar Thanks, news. Yeah, that's hilarious because I remember there was a lot of conspiracy freaks out there back then in 2011 and 12, and saying like the world's gonna end. Just like it was just like in '99 when they said like what was that thing in 1999? The glitch, like it's a glitch in the
Oh
matrix.
yeah, the 2000, the glitch in the computers, and all the computers would shut down.
Yeah, so what she's which I believe 100% what she was saying, because she has actually talked with me personally about some of this stuff that's factual. It's funny because what did they call it? 2K, like 2002K or something like that. Uh, yeah, so I would love to bring her back on later to talk about some of that stuff. But we're here with you, brother, in Hawaii, honoring your time and and your sacrifice for this. So yeah, I've seen your transformation since then, and you've done a lot of things and set a lot of seeds, planted a lot of seeds. All across from Utah to Colorado to Hawaii. I've seen you, uh, setting communities up, doing sustainable living projects. Outside of our friends, the Jank Stars, and like your own personal endeavors, and it's been beautiful to watch. Whether you realize I've been watching or not, I've been along your path, brother, and honor it. So you have this new thing called the Allred Fire Tribe, and we just did the you spell it HUD. I was going
Yeah,
hug
HUD. Yeah.
Y2K. That's it. HUD. I like feels my internal warrior spirit. Thank you. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna do
Do,
my best to remember that
try
one.
to
Thank
do
you.
it for 2 minutes and just see like, and do it for like at least 3 days. Give it a shot and get to where you're keeping your sphincter closed and
Right.
your eyes crossed the whole time, and your breath's coming from your belly button going to your spine, pumping that
Right.
air.
That's that kundalini you're talking about. Okay, so thank you. That's a gift, and I hope other people receive that if they're watching or on the replay. Yes, thank you, brother. Con todo mi corazón. So, all red fire tribe. What is this? Like, your pictures are freaking fabulous, brother. Like your fire spinning set aside, like the main artwork design. Like, I couldn't put them all up there, but man, you're glowing, you're burning, you're radiating, and it's fire. I love it. What is this all red fire tribe?
Well, so All Red Fire Tribe's been around for a while, actually. It's a sub. Uh, it's a subgroup of Fire Muse Circus,
Okay.
and it's my it's my entity of like multiple shows. So like and little fire spinning seeds that I have created all over the years, like my Chico Fire Tribe, I have uh some people up in Coos Bay, um Reno,
Mm.
my Colorado crew, and I'm developing new community everywhere I go. Um, but All Red Fire Tribe is like the umbrella for multiple shows. It's my for-profit business, and it's really Clayton Allred as a fire spinner, the performer. Um, that's All Red Fire Tribe.
It's funny. It's funny because there's a play on words there. With that's your name, but it also says all red. And in some indigenous cultures, the color red means the thread of universal consciousness.
Yeah, man.
And then there's
Well, it's
yeah.
funny because on my fire yoga mat, which we'll get into later, it's the center of
Ooh,
my circle.
whoa, no way.
So, and it's the color red. It's my root chakra.
Right.
and everything goes out from that. But we'll get into that. We'll get into that later. But Allred Fire Tribe has a few shows that it's produced under, like there's the Rainbow Body Activation performance, which is it's Joseph Raleigh and his partner, or his uh Sean. I can't remember Sean's last name now. Oh my goodness. I am remembering Sean's last name. Anyway, it was one of the most powerful workshops I'd ever been to in doing 20 years of festivals for a living, you know? And I've been exposed to a lot of different workshops over the years. And this workshop, I saw transformation and healing happening on a level that I haven't seen without the use of psychedelic plant medicine. I
Mm.
really, um, but it was all what the workshop was. Is it got everybody? It was at the time. It was called the Laughter Sound Healing Workshop,
Laughter,
and
sound healing. So, like, laughter is the best medicine, and sound healing is one of the things that supposedly created this universe and keeps it alive.
it's
Um,
our vibration. We're adding our
okay.
vibration, right? And if everything's
Uh,
vibrating, and we're adding our vibration with conscientious thought, because thought controls vibration. We
mm,
can, and I control the vibration that I'm offering. And
right.
so, what the workshop was did he instantly he had everybody laughing. And I'm not going to tell you how he did it, but like laughing hysterically for half an hour, non-stop, 100% gut rolling, fucking. And then we went instantly into fucking heart center and dyads eye gazing.
How many people?
This what I, I've experienced it from anywhere from like 12 people to like 30 people, and uh every time. So what happens is, and then he guides us gently through some toning exercises that's opening up. And so everybody's opening because they just laughed their asses off for 30 minutes. Lots of energy moved, clear toning exercises guided. Then you stand up and do more toning exercises that are guided and explained. And and then he asks for a volunteer. He asks who's in the most amount of pain. Anybody got a pain that's 1 to 10? Anybody sitting? Where's everybody sitting? And he finds out who's in the most pain in the group, and if they're open to volunteering, then whoever's open and chooses into the experience, one person stands in the center, and everybody touches them and sends their vibration, and it's like this collective toning healing thing that he guides everybody through, and then he invites your natural knowing to take over, and
Uh,
all of a sudden, like, and I've seen miracles happen in those circles.
I believe it. Like 528 hertz frequent. It's a frequency of miracle. It's not say I have a tuning fork they activate when we use sound healing. So you're
The
saying there was
solfeggio frequencies, yeah.
yeah. So Vecchio and Cymatic, yeah. So there is no psychedelics involved in that ceremony, was there?
No, there was no
Oh,
nothing.
that's the
And
beauty. That's the beauty of it, man.
everybody, like, when you're that open and you just collectively do, you're getting that too, and the feeling of that divine connection. It's just, and ooh,
Yes, I feel it, brother. Hey.
yeah. And so back then, like in 2009, I think, Because I knew that when I met Joseph Raleigh, I knew I was going to do some heavy work with him and some beautiful work. My spirit just told me that I was guided like directly to him, and he asked me if I had any ideas on how we could make this experience more broad and so more people could experience it. And I was like, let's turn it into a performance.
Ah, nice. You alchemized it into
And
something.
so we did that at Incandescence in 2020 and 2021. And it was, to my knowledge, the only large scale festival that happened in the height of COVID. Um,
Wow, that's a big thing, especially in 2020, man. Like, where were y'all located doing this at? Like,
we did it at out in Grantsville at Bonneville Sea Base where the old Element 11 used to be held.
oh, so Salt Lake City, Salt Flats. You live in. Oh, not what a better place to do it than that, man. Like, a
Yeah,
lot,
and
a lot of people that haven't been to Utah like have preconceptional ideas because of the Mormons, and like for us, especially you living there for so long and me bouncing back and forth, for decades, you know, like it's like those salt flats have magic, dude. Like you talk about getting grounded and you talk about playing with energy. Whew, I can't imagine now picturing what y'all are doing. Um, Megan, what much love to she jumped on. This is cool now. We can see the comments. I had kind of learned it, winging it, learning as we go. And you know, shout out to everyone that's before us who helped us get here to be able to experience comments live with Clayton. This is a magical man. Truly honored and loved. Known him since 2011. So that's funny.
And
And
just so
words,
you know, I don't see any comments on my end. So if there is a
yeah.
question or something, please just let me know, okay?
I got you, brother. Like this is all. I just finally figured this out. It's all new to me. So yeah, Megan Geisler. If I murdered that, sorry. Just sent a red heart and one of these hearts. So however you do. Um. So that's that. And Lucia's been talking. About what we she said, I love the natural and organic experience. Love, love, love. Oh yes, me too. You are a ambassador of an organic experience and expression to me. um it's this is great, dude. And thank you. So we got off track there a little bit. Where were we? Can you I bounced my
Okay,
scattered brain.
so that's a rainbow body activation performance, and each uh, there's a minute to 3 minute, or no, I think the heart chakra is 5 minutes to 5 minute section in between each chakra, and in that that's like the representation of that chakra and that energy, right? In and how it shows up in our human experience, right? In our bodies and our energetic system. And at the end of each performance chakra, the audience is guided to make the mudra of the chakra and the sound of that chakra. And
Mm.
we didn't just use we used sound toning systems from around the world, so it was not just the traditional sound activations of the chakras. We actually pulled from different cultures because lots of cultures have um, very similar practices, and so we wanted it
Yes.
to be not only an inner rainbow, but a multicultural rainbow that we were exposing people to. And after the
Mm.
crown is open, so the audience is doing this collectively, right? And I didn't know it. That's the I didn't know it's the first show I ever produced and wasn't in. Um,
Oh,
and
that's a different feeling, isn't it?
it is, man. And that, like, that's the thing. I didn't know if the audience was going to choose in to participate. And watching that happen, and watching fucking 300 people fucking choose into opening each chakra together and harmonizing in a circle together with this wild performance going on. And
You're
and
talking.
then
You're
the
talking
once the
about.
crowd,
Does
what?
there's fire involved in the performance, or it's just energy
Right,
work?
right after. So Breath of Fire
Okay.
performs right after, and everybody's
Ah.
already open in a whole new way. And so after the crown is open, the divine masculine and divine feminine character come out into the center of the circle, and they're asked to share their vision of a new earth. And then the audience is instructed to, if that resonates to them, to touch them or touch somebody that's touching them, and hold your own vision for a new earth. And uh and then we all bring the top the top triangle down to the heart, the
Mm.
bottom triangle up to the heart,
As above, so below.
but with motion and sound, using toning those sounds that we just did, right?
Uh.
And having 300 people doing that together was out of this world, man. I had people come up and tell me all kinds of crazy stories from that. But so All Red Fire Tribe produces that and a few other shows. Breath of Fire, which is currently on reformat, uh, uh, redefine mode right now, as many things, you know, things open and close and flow, and it's all about staying in the flow and allowing things to but that's my fire troop that throws fire nunchucks off of buildings and cliffs and does theatrical, like, and some of the biggest, sexiest fire. It's a very sexy fire, and like,
Oh, I've seen some of your performances, bro, and yeah, it's like expressed in a sexual mannerisms that like it's just so sacred and exotic. Like I can't even. It's almost like acro yoga meets fire spinning kind of thing. Like you guys are on some energetic levels that. And you tapped into something where like you're pulling like because a lot of people like to stick to their true traditional roots. I'm 100% native, so hey, I'm gonna stick to the red road. I'm not speaking as me. I'm speaking as others, and I love the red road. I embody the red road. It is internally glowing for the work I've done for myself in there. But I've also seen in Mexico some people in the ceremonies doing what you're doing. Um, I don't know what you would call it, but they're pulling elements from different traditional cultures and kind of like manifesting them into this like alchemized ball of energy. Everyone would say like usually a Merkle ball or some kind of like a I Ching or something like you would say you were talking about like last month or something on one of your talks, and and they're pulling it together and what they can understand like you're doing, and it's so beautiful. um it's like a unionization of cultures, and that's exactly what we were trying to do with our last retreat with Margarita and everybody at the Strawberry Moon community that showed up, bringing in like different natives, Mayans, pagans, Christians, um, whatever like woo woo type of stuff else came in. There was guys talking about the condors from Argentina and scientists and like quantum physics and like tarot card readers, like just unionizing it all and like bringing like the pureness of it all together for what makes sense to me individually or you individually or her or them or they, you know. that it seems like a lot of people are headed in this direction, but where do you go first? Like when you're alone, and do you pray?
Y- yes, but in a different manner than I would say most.
Yeah, okay. So like when you pray, do you pray to a certain energy, or does it have a name, or did you make up a name for it, or like or does it change on a daily basis, or like depending on the situation, like because I'm right here with you on this. This is an interesting path.
You know, I think that I've kind of gone all over the place in a gradual as my awareness has changed or deepened as I expand my relationship to creator to source. Um, I often refer universe, but that's
Mm-hmm.
just not quite expansive enough. But that's seems like the um
Yeah, yeah.
my father.
Mm.
I really especially the last few years. So I'm going to speak. I think that that's been in all kinds of different ways of praying over the years. But
Right, right, and
currently,
it.
the last few years, it's like um, recognizing myself as part of the whole and
Mm,
connected to the whole
mm,
and speaking my truths versus I think sometimes when we pray if a lot of like in the earlier forms I'd always be praying for something or uh with a um with a want or uh
desires and
from a space of lack.
yeah, the void, trying to fill the void.
Yeah,
Yes, dude. Yeah, I
and
got
instead
you.
of doing that, I've moved into recognizing that I am a creator,
Mm.
that I am one with my father. My father is greater and unfucking like even comprehensible to me. Can have glimpses of the grandness, but it's
Yes,
really
yes.
incomprehensible. It's almost like realizing that as I'm staring out over the ocean, that all of that water is a part of
Pachamama come
me.
and play.
Is
Like
a part of me.
yes, yes, and
Right.
that's what you said. You're going with the flow that comes through you first before you define something. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that because it's good the observational point of view and a mindfulness state of awareness. And like some people gravitate towards father energy first, or like Pachamama or Gaia, mother energy first. But what you're talking about is so expansive. Like to me, I can see it as it's just like universe ain't, and the word universe ain't enough. Like it's not a word that can describe God, like because it is of everything, even the mother of God, because both altogether in duality as whole is a flow, and we ride that wave, right? And how we communicate with it is it's sacred to each individual as a energetic kundalini, as you opened up today. um that seems like this is where the new earth co-creation is going. Using it's a give and take thing, a take a give. I'm learning from the Red Road, and like Bob Marley even used to have that song, give a little, take a little, take a little, give a little, like his lyrics. And it's like it's always like that, and it's labels are labels, and sometimes they can proceed cautious with judgments and concerns. When I do label myself this or that, I like the way you explain it, because it's damn near grace. The way you explained it, because you explained it without explaining it. Like you gave it something like we can't describe. But you use the masculine, the fatherly energy, and that's something I've been working on personally myself. I've been highly in the divine feminine. Even some of my brothers out here have been like, "Hey, you need to work on your divine masculine, little bro." And that doesn't mean I need to go to the gym and hit the weights or hit the punching bag. It means like, it means I need to lighten up my internal flowers. I need to lighten up my chakras and be more vulnerable and smooth with myself, soft with myself, because I've been so hard on myself for so many years, correct? And like, and I feel like that activation you did for me helped me do that, especially you being a man in this world, a very beautiful man. Um, you know, coming from where I come from, it's like if I was expressed that way back then, in the streets or the trap or this or that. Actually, that's one of my gifts. Is that uh, I was in a trap house decades ago, and one of the homegirls actually said it. She said, "You brought love to the trap." Because I got the hardest dude in the trap house to say I love you or love you back to me, and because I always said love you to my homies, my friends, but even back then, you know, and then there was one point in time where I was in the darkness of my darkness, and rest in peace, some of them, love all y'all. Uh, uh, we were trapping out of hotels, running dope, and I had I had a blood in there, a crip in there, a sereno in there, some Tongo blast, some what do you call them? The white folks in jail, the Woods in the Aryan Brotherhood, and then some one of those C words I don't want to mention, and the Crips and the other ones. Like we had all what do you call it? Gangster disciple, and we were all a super gang and working together, and like I brought love to that, and I honored each and every single one of them. I don't know how, twisted out of my mind on the substances I was on, but I felt like that was my power, is just showing people how to like ethereally express their brothers, no matter how hard you are, what culture you're in, deep in the gangs and the violence and the mayhem of the streets back then. Like we were all getting along. Until that one moment, someone decided to get prideful, and then they chased because of culture. They were cultured that they had to chase the blood out of the house to protect me. Um, Rest in peace, brother. I love you, and you know who you are. And that dude, he was thought he was trying to protect me. That's where we are conditioned, whether it be in that type of culture or just normal culture in society or religious culture or GOV culture. Like you being out in mainland Hawaii, you even though you're in the U.S., you're so far away from the matrix of the US. I've been to Hawaii, and like I feel that energy. It's almost tribal to some degree, like right?
And where I'm at, I am surrounded in that, you know. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, the energy here, the connection, and the universe just plopped me right in because I came over here to spin fire at a Burning Man style event, non affiliated with Burning Man, but very much um, kind of like a regional burn. However, regional burns don't, like, I don't want to talk for the organization. It's just there was a 200-person cap on it, and it was divine. Like,
Mm.
oh my goodness. And so I I've I've done a lot of different plant medicines over the years. I've really done a lot of personal cleansing and seeking and searching and releasing and allowing uh, uh and that doesn't mean it always came easy. And there was a lot of stuff that I didn't want to see
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
long time,
exactly. Totally, exactly. Like what I'm talking about. There's like things, and someone brought that up to me the other night in a ceremony, and she knows who she is. So I did a personal ceremony. She said when you were in Mexico, there was a lot of things you didn't want to see, wasn't there? And I was like, "Yup, Yep. Until there wasn't. And I had to see those things in order to grow and expand. And those are the lessons are like I've learned from the Red Road and Lakota Way. Last night was beautiful and relearned in remembrance and glow that it's even from Mandy's session. It's from the darkness, the failures, the pain, the suffering, the things we didn't want to see in life, the struggles, the fuck ups. Like, yeah, excuse my language, my ancestral lineage, if my French, you know what I mean. So like some of that, I have a little French in me, so I could own up to that. I'm a melting pot, a muddle of pot of everything you can think of. It's weird. I've done my DNA and even have a little Japanese in me. I'm like, what? Where did that come from? But yeah, looking aside that, we're all indigenous to Mother Earth, Gaia. We're all indigenous to Mother Earth, and that's. I love what Doug Goodfeather said in his book about that, and speaked on that last night. And so if we pre-existing labels of like this is the USA, but used to be Mexico. Before that, it wasn't Mexico. This was just land. Before natives were there, it was just tierra. It was dirt. It was like we don't even have language. Like you just point as a prehistoric human, you know, or draw in the sand, and we just understood each other. Um, Not necessarily cavemen, but you know what I'm talking about, like primordial energy, and like you can feel that and you can activate that without even speaking. And so do you use EMT tapping?
A little bit, yeah.
So looking
Main,
at
it's actually a bit of practice with fire yoga, like um, eh, tapping, but not as a practice like that. More like letting my natural knowing guide where I need to be tapped, and just
uh
tapping into that versus a prescribed way of doing things. Even though, like the tapping, uh, uh, once again, we're making connection,
right.
right? And we're doing so in a way that creates vibration
Mm,
on the body, right? You're almost,
right.
and so anytime you're doing that, I'm a big promoter of it. Doesn't matter what system, um, because it's all like
Force field.
everybody's gonna feel these effects, like, and if you do it also with the conscientious awareness of I, I love myself, I'm loving myself,
Mm,
I'm blessing myself.
right.
I receive, because it's really important to remember to receive that from yourself as well. You know,
Right, and that's the difficult thing for a lot of people. It has been for me for a long time is to receive love and then honor that because I've already received it for myself and then give it back. You know, and that's been a struggle I've seen for a lot of people, and then it's like what is the fear, why people are scared to like, especially men, express their ethereal side, the etheric lighter sides of themselves. Like what has conditioned us to like, yes, we are warriors and we're protectors of our women because they are much more have much more intuitional feelings sacredly beyond this world due to indigenous understandings. um, but why is that? Why do you think that is? Like, but set aside the conditioning. Like, what is there going on? Like, with us men, dude.
because we've been valuing our worth from outside reflections, and we're intimidated that that girl isn't gonna like me. I'm not gonna be worthy of this beautiful goddess that's at my side. If they were really to know her, if I was really to, and it's there's a lot of, from my perspective, there's a lot of shame holding people in prisons, holding
Mm-mm.
themselves in prison because they're ashamed that or they feel like they won't be accepted, or they feel like they will be judged, but they're holding themselves in that prison by judging themselves prematurely anyway.
Yes.
And the only judgment that fucking matters on this planet that truly does anything is I'm judging myself. At the end of the day, I'm the judge, not God. I
There's a
am God.
yeah
And that's
yeah the
you.
scene.
You are God. I am. We are creators. Tell me, tell me a single person that isn't creating something right now.
I,
Rather it be creating another fucking
I,
dog day that goes to the same job, that does the same thing, that's stuck in the same cycle,
yeah
or
yeah
somebody
yeah.
that's innovating some new revolutionary technology right now that we're not even aware of yet. But
Yes.
we're
I
all
mean,
creating at all moments in time, and the more can I share a few of my daily affirmations with you?
please, brother, please do it.
Because
Yes.
you were talking about defining, and when we define something, we separate because we're individualizing, and we're creating separation by giving a definition. And unless we're doing so very consciously and speaking, because I hear people say I am all
Mm,
kinds of things,
mm-hmm.
and when we're and so you are. The
Yeah.
universe is not going to lie to you. This is our playing ground. It's our playing ground. And in any moment in time, we can be creating anything we want. And we can be experiencing and relating however we want. And
Oh.
I think that uh, often it comes into places where uh,
Oh, it's starting to rain, huh?
we're shutting ourselves off prematurely with our own judgments. Um, and so here's some of my daily affirmations, because this is how I pray. This is one of the ways I pray. Um, every day in every way, I'm increasing my conscientious awareness of the power of my mind and my control over it. And every day in every way, I'm increasing my conscientious awareness of the thoughts I hold in the cauldron of my mind, my offering to the universe. I consciously and subconsciously think beautiful, loving, harmonious, joyful, abundant, prosperous, harmonious thoughts about myself and others now. And this is so. And so it is. I am open and receptive. I allow the universe to guide me. I am listening.
Mm,
I am in service.
mm.
I love myself. I love myself. I love myself. I am always at the perfect place at the perfect time, experiencing the perfect people, making the perfect connections. I am love. Yeah. There's a
Oh,
few of them, brother.
oh,
I
bro.
am worthy. I am worthy. That's what I invite everybody out there to do. At least start with that, right? Because I've noticed, like with the Church of Flames, one of the things we celebrate is Love Fest Day, and that's every time the moon crosses Venus. It happens once a month, and we promote different kinds of self-love practices, including that I love myself, right? um, but I've noticed a lot of people have a hard time looking themselves in the mirror and saying I love you or I love myself. And so I invite everybody to just start out with I am worthy. I
Mm,
am worthy of love. I am worthy of abundance. I am good enough. And then love yourself. I love myself. Because once you state that, if you state something 3 times, you're going to be starting to feel it. And if you're not feeling it, say it 3 more. And if you're not feeling it, say 3 more. And by that 9th time, you'll be embodying it. I guarantee it. Because you are a creator. And that's what I really want to provoke. I really want to promote right now is
mm.
Be conscious of the words you speak. Be conscious of the things you think. Be conscious of what you intake, what you choose to intake, and how that might have an effect on this and what you're thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and spend more time in nature and really take a moment to say, I love myself because, man, this right here, all this greenery, oh, man, that's feeding me vibration as well, just as much as a television is.
Oh, amen, brother.
And
Yes,
and
whoopla.
so what am I tuning into, man? What what am I tuning into? You know, I I'm gonna go all over the place, Jason, just because I feel inspired, man.
You
You
do
were talking
you.
about the solfeggio frequencies,
Yes,
and on
yes.
my mat, there's this triangle, and it's the 174. You probably can't see it very well, but there's three sets of number groups. There's the 174 number group in the solfeggio frequencies. There's the 258 number group,
Uh-huh.
and there is the 369 number group.
Right.
And that 369 number group, all of those number groups are a triangle. And there's three different combinations of, of those numbers in each corner of those triangles. And together it makes a 9-pointed star, okay?
Ooh.
Those number groups each have different function and frequency in our experience. The 147 number group is very much the human experience. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So
The
you're talking human design almost at this point.
I'm talking like more so the earth, the frequencies of the earth in relationship to us. The
Mm.
258 number group is all about us as human beings, like our physical vibration. 528 hertz, the frequency of love, that's in that number group. The 369 number group is like the ether. It's like what gives all of the other numbers definition and creates them into form because as you notice, those number groups are all separations of three.
Mm.
And
Yeah. Mm.
that's
They say
how numbers work.
yeah, they
And
always say it comes in threes. Everything comes in threes. Claro. Roll, roll, roll.
tetrahedrons, right? It's the simplest
Tetrahedrons, yes.
platonic solid. So
Yes.
on my mat, um, this is how energy flows. It's how the each it's it is the yin yang in motion.
Mm.
And the hexagrams of the 64 hexagrams of the I Ching are going all the way around, like that's heaven over heaven,
Ooh.
right? And this programming partner, I'm going to just go into this really fast and I'm going to explain with heaven over heaven and earth over earth because it's going to be the easiest to understand. But this is completely masculine creative energy. This is the top of the yang of the yin yang. So this is where binary code comes from, and a solid line is masculine energy, and it's read as a one. So this would be 1 1 1 1 1 1. On the other side of the yin yang is its programming partner, hexagram 2, which is completely feminine energy, completely receptive energy, which
Mm.
is, and in binary code, it's 0 0 0 0 0 0.
Wow,
As I
wow, wow.
start getting more masculine all the way across, this is the only representation of the yin yang right there. That's where this it starts and goes through the center and ends up over here, right there. And those are programming partners. So there's programming partners all the way around the system. And this mat is actually my personal geometry.
So you drew that. You did all
Oh,
that.
yeah. Yeah. And all of
Wow.
this is my fire yoga practice. And I, it's all about understand. So your mat would be to your geometry. And the measurement is from the center of your elbow to your wrist joint, in radius, and it will end up being from the center of your knee to the bottom of your foot in diameter.
Okay.
And then all
That's
of
like
your
the
yoga moves, it doesn't matter if you're practicing any martial art, you can see where you're supposed to be and where you are, and you can adjust accordingly because you're doing these movements on uh, your geometry.
right. So
And
like, so you mentioned martial arts. When I was training MMA, the reason why I was training MMA was because I had my jaw shattered in Utah at a tattoo shop, rap show, and I was out of my mind. I didn't know this guy was an MMA fighter. And he shattered me, so I wanted to do that to protect myself. Once I cleared my mind up and got my life together, decades later, like, so my coach used to tell me, never looking for a fight. You always use your voice and your energy to back yourself out. He would say he would even carry mace to not use his skills to fight. Whatever it took not to fight. But he's well trained and he's MMA professional that who taught me. So he would say, you oh it, when you hit, and you swing with you swing with the chi, you flow with the chi, like you hit the bag with the chi. When you're sparring chi, it's that chi, that energy, and you're talking about that I Ching, and that all, I believe you're saying that all flows together. Because martial arts is also a practice of yoga where like you're very in tune with your body. The reason why I still practice it today when I can is because I do yoga and MMA, just boxing, bag techniques, because it activates awareness of my body, of where I am I am weak, and where I am lacking of there, and where I am strong. Like my aware, not necessarily because I need to use it, but to balance myself. And it takes away the monkeys in my brain in the circus. It's a form of meditation, just like a yogi would say. Why do you think the samurai monks back in the day were so peacefully powerful? You don't
Yeah.
want to. My Dharma Punk mentor had a story about that where he was in Cambodia, and he's covered like face tattoos, skull tattoos, covered, dude, fresh out of Hawaii prison. But out here, he went to prison in Hawaii. That's a whole nother story of his, but he goes into Cambodia to search for his inner peace in the Dharma way, through the Dharma punks and that program, and he came across a samurai warrior monk, and they, you don't see tattooed you don't see redneck tattooed honky like motorcycle Harley Davidson type of people like walking around Cambodia, right? So
Right.
this Cambodian monk comes, stands up to him, and it doesn't stand up to him, but he turns to him, looks at him, and he goes, this guy's tough, dude. Like my mentor, and he goes, even the monk was like shattered, like just like shocked, like, who are you? Like he's like, I don't want nothing, I don't want that, I just come in peace, I'm here to seek out meditation, I'm in Dharma. And he goes, it's tough to let him peace by, like, just like, thank you for not, because your outsides didn't reflect your insides. And once they realized his insides were pure, they just continued to conversate and move on. But that would be some, that understanding what you just told me and what my MMA coach told me. Like, I would not want to come across a Shaolin monk in the wrong type of scenario. That's you're talking about the laws of the universe, just like barely tapping you. Like, you could tap someone and they're out of there. Like, and that's where you use, where it comes, this energy is used for good or bad, or negative or positive, or it's just understood to be there use for to protection, that, or to radiate awareness of to be far enough from to not cause any harm to myself or others, or to attract that energy, right? So thank you for raising a deeper awareness on that of what if are we in alignment of what I just said? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, Claro,
So
good.
I mean, there's it's funny because uh, okay, let me just check in for. Is it in my highest and best good and the best good of all for me to share this? All right. So imagine this. So there's a most martial arts, if not all martial arts, that come out of China based off of this book.
That
Um,
yeah, I could see why.
they stem from it. And each of these hexagrams has a different type of energy, right? And there's actually a martial art called Bagua, which
Mm.
means eight trigrams. That if you're coming, it's a dance, right? Like if you're coming at me with a particular energy, I'm going to give you the programming partner. And somebody that understands this martial art on a deep level, all you're going to be, it doesn't matter if you're a kaisho master, that like you're only going to be able to fucking dance because
The dance
I'm
part.
meeting you with the same word energy, and all we can do is dance
That's
because
the cosmic dance. Yes. And that's another thing my coach said. You gotta find your internal dance. And like this has nothing with me wanting to get back into sparring or nothing, but like find your cosmic dance, brother. And it took me the longest time to understand what he was talking about. And when I went to Mexico, I went to these Denver powwows with the Native Americans, and like you see in the Mexica dancers, the way they dance, like I'm like imagining, like they're so light, like a feather hopping around to the boom boom to the beat of the drum, the heartbeat rhythm, and it's like imagine if one of those powwow or the Mexica dancers or the Mayan dancers I saw down in Sayulita, like wow, imagine like you capoeira and stuff like that in Brazil. They didn't practice that down there. I was trying to do it, but I couldn't make it on time. Um, Find your dance. I've even in ecstatic dance ceremonies, I've almost done what I felt like a capoeira, like back spin, kick over my head, back misty flip type of thing on a snowboard trick or something. Like, I'm like, what? Like finding your cosmic dance. What does that mean to you, dude? That's beautiful. That's not. That's much more than jumping in a ring with Mike Tyson and Jake Paul type. No,
yeah,
it's not a
you know,
glitch in the matrix.
I think that's you look at uh all of these martial arts, right? And it's movements of water. It's movements
Mm,
of heaven. It's movements, and each of the elements have a different flow to them, right? And it's
yeah.
either a feminine movement, being out here, like I'm gonna refer to my mat again, the flower of life, right?
Flor de
This from
vida.
here, am I catching? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, all the way over here is a feminine movement. This is a masculine movement. And so a lot of times you'll see this with Jesus written in the extension, and it's a little fish. It's the Vesca
Ah,
Pisces, and it's the first thing
yeah.
that happens when a cell divides. Everything in life follows this geometry, and when the more. Okay, I'm just gonna go into microcosms and
You
macrocosms
bet.
really quick.
Let's get it, brother.
Right here,
Uh,
this is a masculine movement, right? This is my heart chakra actually, but inside that masculine movement is two more identical masculine movements,
mm,
and inside those is two more, and each one of those is a microcosm. So, um, the flower itself is my physical body.
my chakra system is actually one microcosm down, and in between each of the little Vesca Pisces inside that base layer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the
And like,
water element. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and so anyway, when you move, like the more you can follow the path, the energy is already following in like the the path of least resistance is always the path of truth, and
MLK said that, right?
it fucking you can deliver that energy, however, like more effectively and efficiently. Does that make
Mm.
sense?
Claro,
Um,
yeah.
but the
Like,
real martial art, in my opinion, is like coming into a state of awareness of I am, where when somebody enters into your field, you become them and choose to go that way, and then you're back into you. Because once
wow.
you're in control over everything inside your energy field,
So
and
you're,
that goes true for anyone else too. But when you're in each other's, like when you're this close, like if a person's right here, we're
mm,
both inside each other's energy fields, and we have that is our divine control, all of that space, and so.
right.
I don't know if some of the things that I've seen and been exposed to are are real quite yet.
Well, yeah, hold on. Can I
um,
say something? Can I say something about what you just said? So,
yes, please.
I believe it's called, from whatever they say, it comes from psychology wise or whatever. Like, yeah, like mirroring energy. So like you said, become that person's energy, whether it be female or male or whatever they describe
Yeah,
themselves as. So like you become that. Actually, the energy is honoring itself, making sure it's pure enough to mirror itself, and then reverse out and become your own. And if it's accepted, it will mirror perfectly and lovingly and purely, and without attaching and obsessively trying to stay within that mirror reflection. And I see this in the spiritual community. There's way too much. This is opinion. Everyone has assholes, I know, but like there's way too much mirroring going on and not enough there. Everyone wants to stay in the mirror. Like, not enough. Okay, I see the mirror. You're beautiful, brother. I love you beyond this world of etheric energy. Whew. Now let me step back and embody what I am now. I've already I felt that with you, and now we can expand and co-create together, um, and then we can still reflect those mirrors as they come along, consciously and unconsciously as it flows. But I see an over. It's like hyperactive stimulant. It's like a stimulant desire for a response of this mirroring, and I'm guilty of it myself, especially within the spiritual community. And like I've had to tell people at some points, like, hey, stop mirror, set a boundary, like I'm gonna stop mirror reflecting right now and let's get real. Like I've got to say something real quick, like I respect you and honor your space, and you know I love you, but like there's something I've got that's from me, from my energetic system, from Yo Soy, I am from Jason, right? That I feel like I desire to say it, without just like, oh, I'm a reflection of you, you're a reflection of me, and this and
right.
that. Like you get stuck there. So thank you for bringing that to awareness. I honor that. I really do honor that. Um, you just said it in your language, and that's what they call it, the mirror reflecting. I'm starting to learn to set boundaries with that, because it feels so good sometimes, especially with women. especially with different spiritual women, like to stay in that mirror reflection, because it's like, because it's so beautiful, and it's like it doesn't matter who it is. I've had it with many different encounters, almost to the point where you blind yourself within the mirror. You know, you're like, you become them, and then it's like you forget who you are. You get lost in the mirror, and then it shatters into a bunch of pieces, right, or something. However you can like color and make poetry,
Yeah.
you know. So like stepping back and like embodying your energy, like I already honored your energy, so let's create, like, and this is what we're doing right now. We did at the start when I did that your opening whew,
Yeah.
and it felt right. Like I didn't have to declare it. I'm declaring it now, but like I would never have done that with you if it didn't feel right. Like my energetic system would have been like, I'm just gonna sit here and watch him. You know, like this doesn't feel right, but that felt right. So here we are. Thank you for
Well,
that.
and so that's another thing that I like. I'm really, yeah, eh, doing my best to inspire by being, but considering there's this invite to present, I'm taking that invite and sharing. Um, but I feel like, well, I kind of forgot where I was going with that, and I trust that too. Maybe I didn't need to say that.
It happens. It happens. We
Um,
You were talking about energy reflections, and you were talking about the I Ching, and you were talking about like becoming the other person's energy in
uh,
order to connect. And
oh,
yeah.
yeah, just the uh, you know, I think I used to understood. I thought I understood the word accountability back in the
uh,
day.
okay.
And when we really start taking a look and really um being accountable for everything and realizing that my thoughts are creating, my feelings are creating, how I respond or react are creating, even on the subtle levels, right? And
Mm,
in relationship to other, what I'm giving, rather, like, and what I'm expecting or receiving, or like all of these things are dictating moment to moment to moment. And taking the time and space to get grounded when you start off the day, giving your
yes.
time, space, and time to love yourself and really feel that love, and you're not looking for it from outside sources. You're not
Yeah.
looking to be validated by, you know, because you've already given yourself that for the day. And if you
Yes.
feel like you're in lack, then give yourself some more. And
Lord.
being
Yes.
able to um be okay with where other people are at in their practice. Be
Mm,
okay with where other people are at in their belief system, and not
mm-hmm.
like being conscious and aware of how much I can deliver. And this is what I'm learning deeper levels of right now, is how do I give information um that I know is powerful without and haven't fully received, because I tend to just like open up the floodgates and give, and a lot of
Yeah.
times
I get that.
um that's cool for the first little, what should have been the and paying attention to what that amount is and what that is, and then not trying to, not forcing knowledge onto people,
Mm,
even in subtle ways. And I get
mm.
really excited. So this is one of my things, right? I get really excited because I want to share,
Yeah.
and um have so much to share. And but I think that I guess what I'm pointing out is it's so important to um, be conscious and aware of the subtle things and continue to listen to that natural knowing. Like you said earlier, my if it wasn't good for me, I would have drawn this boundary. I just would have sat back. I invite people to really start listening to that because you know the answers for you in this moment of now, and nobody else knows that. Everybody is their own best inner guidance program. And the more you start listening to yourself and honoring and doing what you love, doing what you want to do for you, and not doing it for somebody else, not choosing this because it's and just like really and 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 also like uh yeah, just really listening to that and being okay with saying no. Honor your nose. Honor your fucking nose and recognize that a yes is only a fuck yes. Like fuck yes or no, it's a no. Um and but there's also times where we need to pay conscientious attention to the little trickster in our
Yes.
brain too, because it'll come up and like try to talk you out of feeling something, and like so that's where the practice is what is really my natural knowing saying and what is all of this subconscious programming that I recorded at some point in time that's telling me I'm not good enough or I don't want to have this experience or and being able to identify that and separate that and that as you work with that, as I work with that, I'm increasing my conscientious awareness of how I work and how I operate and how I honor my truth,
Yes.
my
Yes.
divinity.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, you said it very well, brother.
I know I just kind of went off there, but
No,
thank you.
no, not in a bad way or a way that I couldn't understand at all. You just say it was a pure example and an expression of how you honor yourself, and that going back to the reflection, that is a reflection of me getting to experience your reflection in my internal mirrors of how I honor myself and what I'm capable of, brother, as on this linear perspective, and what I'm and why I'm capable of doing what I do, the reasons and intentions and integrity behind what I do, and nobody knows that but me. You know what I mean? I love that saying, like in that movie. Like I can't remember. It's one of those two Tim Farrell movies or something. He's like, "Don't tell me my intentions, devil woman." I'm, I'm like, why do they have to be a woman? It could be a devil man. It could be a devil. They, them, it, whatever you call it, define. It could be a freaking dog. They don't tell me my intentions, Dakota. She's over there like, what is going on? Um, I know my intentions. I know the purity behind it. Without without doing, I do my best not to be self righteous, and I fall freaking so goddamn far from grace every day, dude. But I do all I can do is do my best, and try not to make do try not do my best. Don't make assumptions. Those are the Toltec rules. Be impeccable with my word, which aligns underneath my integrity. This is from that Four Agreements Don
For
Montgomery,
agreement.
right? I
Yeah.
love that book. I honor that's in my vernacular, in my heart, blood, and soul, and mind, dude. And like, and the last one was always do your best, be impeccable with your word, don't make assumptions. Well, I always forget the other
Don't
one.
take things personally.
Don't take things personally. That's the one that trickster. That's the trickster that always gets me, dude. It always gets me because like people will be talking and in a crowded room, and I'm just sitting there listening. All of a sudden, I take something, and it's like, whoa, they said something about me, but it had nothing to do with me. And then I can react to that however I want. And then they react, and they're like, "What is this guy even talking about?" That's a great book. I've read it so many times. There's actually the Fifth Agreement, the Mastery of Love. He's a great author, dude. And the Toltec wisdom in general that goes into the smoky mirrors and the indigenous teachings, which uproot the Aztecs and Mayans and everything. And yeah, I got a little off track there. But I did receive that from you with what you were talking about, and it's empowerment. It all goes to embodying authenticity. I'm an ambassador of my authentic energy, which it roots from love. Like I love to do these things. Why do I love to do these things? And I desire them not to cause harm. I desire them not to cause other people suffering or pain. You know what I mean? Like it's those are just words to people because there's dark manipulation. If you look at Mandy Valadez, her story, she watch her episode number 1. Oh man, my 10-year-old child was in a ball, scared, dang near crying, dude. Like the compassion, I can't for that woman. I learned a lot through that episode she put on. I was actually her episode through her podcast. Um, and there's a lot of things I've learned through these things through this workshop that we're doing here at the Elevation Retreat. And the reason why I called it Gaia Gang is because I wrote that book, Energy, Alchemize Your Energy, which you're talking about energy, I Ching. It's so far obsolete to me nowadays because I wrote it like almost over a year ago, and so many things have happened. So in the gang stuff in my past life, in the streets, and like a gang is just a group of people. There's Gaia Gang may look like people have come to me with concerns about like, why would you name it that? It's so dark. It sounds dangerous. Like it's like, do you understand my shadows and my mirrors? How much work I put into making them so beautiful in the gardens of light to altruistically alchemize myself just to be alive and exist and enjoy the beauty of life, dude. Like, of course I'm gonna call it that. It resonates authentically to my core. To my 10-year-old child who picked up the Snoop Dogg tape and listened to G's and the Hustlers, and I don't know if you ever remember that album, and Callie, and then the kid in the kindergarten room, and they're like, what do you want to be when you grow up? I want to be a fireman. Hey, you over there, what do you want to be? Blah, blah, blah. They get back to Snoop. You back there with the funky braids or whatever. What do you want to be when you want to grow up? And he goes, I want to be a motherfucking hustler. And it's this little child in like a second grade classroom setting. And me and Callie at the time, growing up, here's that. I had to double it off tape to hide it from my parents because it had parental advisory. I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I want to be that. And then allowing creative attachments to so-called grow and manifest those and into the path I chose, which allowed me to learn from my lessons of darkness and mistakes and alchemize them into beauty. So like that's why we're Gaia, Mother Earth, Pachamama. We are all humanity. We're all a gang together. We're not divisions or separate from race, from gang, from culture, from religion, from imaginary borders. We all are a human collective gang of people, dude. Like it's like why
I hear you, brother.
you hear
We
me?
are.
We are, man, and
And
like we
I have the same issue with the using the word church, and the Church of Flames, and that's like our boilerplate. What are we doing? We're redefining the word church straight the fuck up,
yeah,
and
man.
we're uniting people and resources uh, to create alternative solutions to basic human needs and take it to the populace of the earth, because everybody needs their basic human needs met. And FLAMES is an acronym for fire, love, art, music, equality, and sustainability. And I
Mm.
feel like those are the things that really move people and can really connect people and can really educate and touch people and connect people in the ways that we need to be able to connect vulnerably in a safe space where it's okay for men to like explore their feminine nature. And when I'm talking about feminine nature, I'm not talking about dressing up like a girl. I'm talking about listening. I'm talking about receiving. I'm talking about shutting the fuck up and like getting that beautiful massage, from your
Yeah.
beautiful goddess. Receive, bro. Receive.
Receive,
Listen,
receive.
like, and like really drop the tough guy thing, and
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're the ones that we're waiting for, and the only time is now. And uh, the more we work together and the more we create a safe space to be with one another, inspire one another, the more we connect like that, the more abundant we are. Because truly, we are all connected. We're just allowing ourselves to be separated by
Yeah.
our judgment and our choice and what frequencies we're holding. And and guess who has the ability to change that?
That-
You know? And as I change that, everything around me changes. And my friends start changing and ripple effects occur. And you've known me for a long time,
yeah.
and you look back at when we first met each other, um and uh the level of conscientious awareness or spirituality at that point in time that we were aware of. I don't know about you, but I've seen it grow immensely, like immensely, immensely. And some of that's just me becoming more aware of what's really out there. But, you know,
Well, the
there's
fact.
a lot of beautiful things happening on this planet, and there's a lot of beautiful people doing a lot of amazing things. And when we can consciously start working all together, that's where it's at, man. And that's
Yeah.
really what everything that I'm doing, all of my projects, they all have that end goal, uniting
Mm.
uniting the human race. And it's not just me uniting the human race. It's multiple people from all over the world choosing to gather, choosing to inspire and listen to one another, and really start integrating, like you were saying, all of these different practices and belief systems, and not being attached to being right or wrong, but being like what works and how can we integrate this, and how I'm honoring, like really learning to honor one another. And I think that yeah, I'm I look forward to people like getting into the Church of Flames. I recommend going and reading our mission statement. Um, and to get teamwork's the only way the dream works.
Yeah.
And us standing up collectively and working collectively together is the only way that we really create any type of new reflection. Like we can only change the world into various different reflections of what it already is until we have a populace that is at least aware of different options of different ways of doing things.
Right, and it takes someone to take someone with the ability to not have fear of conflict to challenge the situation with the right tone of speech and energy or mindfulness. Like you look into the roots of Dharma, and like I'm not afraid to challenge this situation for the greater good of what my higher purpose is. Um, and that's why we need people like you in this world. That's why we need people like everybody that's been on this retreat. And gosh, I can't tell you the downloads. I just like listening, like you said, just listening to some of these people that have already been some of my teachers and just dear, close people in my life. Either rehearing it or forgetting some of the stuff I've heard or just new stuff. It's just like, woo! Like, like the Beatles song "Come Together," you know, they were on it, man. They were doing
Yeah.
dream work, like Native Americans, make it Mother Mary come to me, let it be. That was out of Paul McCartney's Dream at Night. Like this stuff's been going on. The '60s started it, and it's now we now have the tool of social media to make it. Even Sadhguru, if you follow him, says it's okay that this is a sacred tradition and in Tibet or whatever sacred traditions you want to call it and keep sacred and hide in the jungle. This phone, this laptop, this phone is a computer. It's a tool to reach the people who need to be reached who can't get, or the people that need to be heard that can't be heard, because there's that chispa spark, like Lucia says, that will, or like Tupac said, there's a spark like that might spark some kid's mind to be that person you were talking about that's going to be the next person to cure cancer or create this great new invention, scientific revolution with it, because technology is so relevant these days. And look at the gap generation, we're probably around the same age, right? Like we've experienced vinyl records, tapes, CDs, the iPods, gone to like what did we have? The iPods kind of looked like this, or the fuck, what do you, the I got all our music on them, and then it goes to phones with music, and this now we got streaming platforms and Spotify's and iTunes and like YouTube, and we went through MySpace. Like we went through all of the conditioning of technology. Now the millennials these days, they're growing up with phones in their hand at the age of like 3 and 4. Like, oh, they mean baby. I see the people at restaurants, especially in my personal family, like using the phone to entertain their baby just so to shut up and not annoy the parent within that thinks that everyone else is annoyed, right? Bless you, brother. And so like they're being technologically conditioned. They're being social media conditioned to social media before they even realize it subconsciously. So it's going to take the generation gap to fill in and help raise awareness to this. And you and I are of that. There are a lot of other people that have spoke are of it or beyond that, which I would truly honor the elders, because they didn't even know what was like a phone, a telephone. Tesla was talking about these things back in the day, and he was a nut job that should have been in the psych ward, right? Sound, frequency, vibration. It's just like everything's a tool. I'm an instrument. I love the band Tool. I love how I see why they named it that, and it turns into the Alex Gray like metamorphosis of like similar to like what you did with your sacred inner workings of the I Ching drawing there, and that's it. I can't. It took a lot of work, brother. Like I
There's 9 years, 9 years of a lot of research and like just making sure. And what it is it's moving the staff. Like all of my lessons are now fire yoga.
mm,
Very rarely do I do just a contact staff workshop or anything like that. Just because it's really you're using at least you're massaging at least 4 points on your body at all points in time, and
with
those
the staff, yeah.
those
Mm,
points all work together differently, and your natural knowing where. And so, like, man, uh, my body feels so good right now.
yeah.
Like when I take the time to actually have a practice, and because I'm massaging myself like with my stick, and by doing so I'm learning all of these new moves, like,
And
and
you
really.
have the element of fire at each end, warming your human, and the
and
design that's within you that you engineered and it's been given to you
and
freely.
transforming. Fire is, there isn't a fire that's ever existed that hasn't transformed something.
Right, that's a lot of transmutation, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I think that,
Thermodynamics. I mean, yeah.
yeah. And what makes anybody think that fire around your energetic body is doing anything different than what fire does to anything else? Um, and so it can actually be a very amazing cleansing tool, transform transformative tool, especially with conscientious thought and an understanding. And so my mat, it's a they're known as Yujai keys.
Oh, that's how you do it. I see.
And
It's fun.
Yuj is where the word yoga comes from. It means to create union. Um, and so usually with yoga, creating union between mind, body, and spirit, right? And so Yuj, I, key. It's a key to create union with I. And
Mm.
so yeah, it was a lot of work.
And the fact that it took 9 years. If you look into numerology, like there's the end of having getting to work on that, and then there's the new beginnings of getting to share it with the world with the tools that you have, brother. And like, whoo, like I've seen, like I had no clue. Like I've seen that mat, and I never knew really how the depths that of the work and the drive, discipline, determination, and everything that you put into that too. It's so beautiful. Like wow.
I feel like I have something very, 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 very special to share with the world, you know, and it is a new modality. It's still human design and it's gene keys and it's the I Ching and it's quantum mechanics and but it's contact staff and it's
Mm.
massage and it's also mental work, you know, and you're working up the chakra system. So um there's the root chakra, the basic root chakra is a 17 class series. Um, and so like once you really understand the system, then it's all about just using your natural knowing.
What do you mean
And,
by it's a 17 class series?
um, so I have it broken down right now into 17 classes for the basic root chakra on my mat and the movements. And I've been giving it away to friends or people that I'm inspired to give it away to, just because I've been practicing how I'm going to deliver it in a digestible manner because
Mm.
it's a lot of information from multiple cultures, from multiple scientific, you know, like there's a lot of information on that, Matt. So um,
Oh.
I'm going to go in and when I get back to Utah, that's in June, I'm going to go in and film the route through the solar plexus, all
That's
the
beautiful.
classes.
I can't wait to see that once you film it. If you do post it on socials, yes, dude. Because there's something about the number 17. It always calls to me. I don't know why. I mean, I can make creative attachments about what other people have said, but like, there's something very sacred. Is it the fact that it adds the harmonious 7 in it and it adds up to the infinite 8? But like, what is it about the number 17, dude? Like, I'm just like. There's certain numbers that just like really call to me personally, dude, and that's one of them.
Well, it's definitely uh, in the 147 number group.
Yeah, it must be why. It must be 147 is. Can you explain a little bit about it? That's numerology, right?
So when you man, it's raining so bad I don't know how well you can hear me. Can you hear me?
Clarity, loud and
Cool.
clear.
Nice. Um like the feet are 174 hertz and the knees are 258
Mm.
And then we get to the root chakra, which is 396.
Hmm.
Is that right? Three, is it 396? Or is it three? Yeah, it is 396.
Yeah. Okay. And
Because that
so,
hertz.
uh,
So, vibrations per second.
mhm.
And that's the root chakra. So if you were to look up solfeggio frequencies and you'd look up the root chakra, it'd be 396 hertz, and it would be the next macrocosm up is the vibration of the color red.
Mm.
Does that make sense? So, like when I'm talking about macro and micro, I'm talking about waves of frequency, right? That fit inside of each other perfectly. They are themselves, just that next division smaller. And so all of the waves are hitting in harmony.
Yeah, you know
And
what? You know what's funny that you say that uh, the color red, like you know, in Mashika they say that's the universal color of consciousness, and we've been manipulated by and conditioned by a system to believe that red means something else. But we can also make red mean whatever we want it to be. But like you know, a woman puts on a red dress. Our minds go straight to lust because we were trained that way through conditions of society. Or you see a red on a
there's
stop sign, there's danger.
Dude,
Ha!
there's so much fucking intentional programming that the human race is unaware of for the most part. That it
Yeah.
is so fucking brilliant and beautiful and
Yes. I mean, it
amazing, and I
is.
find such awe in it. Um,
It's
and it's
genius.
just about
Yeah.
reprogramming. It's just about recognizing, releasing, and reprogramming, healing, letting go. Because I think that a lot of times people get caught up on the energy of once they realize how brainwashed everything is. There's this feeling to want to be
Yeah.
mad about it, right?
Yeah.
And to
Yeah.
tell other people, oh my God, you're so, and
Yeah.
the real solution as far as like effectiveness of energy is just to change the programming. Love it like it is. When you identify something like that, explore it, see what does ring true, and be
Mm.
open and just like, because I think we spend I know that I, I have spent a lot of unneeded energy in the past, focusing on things that are outside of my control, or if they are inside of my control, then I would need to be sitting in stillness in order to even think about having any type of control.
The
And
super ego. You're getting into that, huh? Like
I,
you're talking about super ego and macro ego. Even it can even go even more awareness of the ego, but then the double awareness of the ego, the super ego, then awareness of the super ego to the point where like there's got to be so many layers to access once someone embodies some type of power that can be used this way or that way or any way in between. There must be that type of awareness. Uh, yeah,
like this. I am one with the universal mind. I am connected to all things. All things are connected to me. Like
yeah,
that. And
I like that.
recognizing that, and you are as well, right? And
Yes,
recognizing the
yes.
power in that.
Mm-hmm.
And or you can't enter into that space from a negative space with
Mm-hmm.
negative intentions, with any desire to do harm for anybody. You can't even fathom that space coming from those spaces.
No,
Um,
no, it's like, I mean, I can though. That's the thing. I can fathom if it, I have fathomed it, and I'm highly aware of it,
no,
and
you
that
can fathom it. I'm just saying, like, um, somebody, somebody coming from a space other than love and aware, like, it's like you. I don't think. I don't think you could enter into that space from a space of pain and hate.
yeah, it's just it would be a chaotic cluster mess ball of energy that would just cause so much harm and destruction, and we've seen it happen before. And you look at nature, it's like, I mean, tornadoes, hurricanes, storms, lightning bolts, like just hitting people out of nowhere. Not floods washing through, like washing my brother down in Texas in his truck over the cliff. Like there's real stuff, dude. Like nature will tell us, you can't breach Mother Nature. You can't breach Gaia, the Mother of God, Pachamama. Like you can't breach her. So it's like, who do I reach to first? You know, that's why. That's why I think it's always divine feminine, because for me first, because my masculine will screw it up, and that's, I don't know why it is that, but once the divine feminine is well nourished and well aware of its power and healed, and the darkness within that, and it's become one with the duality and whole, and I am whole, I am in that, what you were talking about of our practice earlier. um and the feathered serpent, the Quetzalcoatl within, as they talk about, it's just I would say a similar to the sacred serpent in yoga, kundalini. It's all different perspective, it's a perception, it's all the same thing. It's just, what paintbrush are we picking up today, man? You know what I mean? Like, what am I going to use this red for, and what's my
Yeah,
intention? You know, I would hope I have the clearest mindset on the planet. There's a clarity that can't be defined, a grace that can't be said or even act upon.
yeah, I love it. I think that's really what it ends in ends up being is acceptance, love, and honoring your personal power in this moment of now. Yeah,
Yes, brother. Yes, and that's all we can do. That's all we can do, and do our best to carry it on and gift to who is willing to receive without forcing anything. It's a difficult task. I'm right there with you. Must be achieved with some sort,
of
some
grace.
some 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 sort of grace, but I know I fall short from that. You know, like, I understand, I because of my past and this and that and the way I am.
But you love yourself anyway,
But
right?
I
Right through it.
fucking love myself, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in love with myself. I know that. I understand and believe, trust in God and a good ride the
And
wind. Let's go. I love myself. And I
fuck
will
yeah.
protect myself to the point of where I'm not going to harm myself. Which was, if I'm going to do that, why would I do that to anybody else? Why would I desire to do that to anybody? I wouldn't wish the world to go through some of the things I've gone through. I would never want them to experience those dramas, because, like, those were my lessons. Those were my gifts. Don't get inspired by my dark side like I got inspired by others to go run wild and at the night and do all the crazy mischievous things I did, which got me locked up or institutionalized or this, that. Those were my lessons, dude. I'm here to help people not go down that path. I'm here to help give the stage to my brother Clayton, the Allred fire path, the Camino that is so beautiful. It massages you with fire. To honor the beauty of life, the flor de la vida that's in all of us, that grows in the grass and the trees and the waters and the ether and the air. Like, I'm right there with you, dude. Like, um, it's 5:21. We've been talking for an hour and 58 minutes, man. We could keep going. I already know. we've got Margarita Lopez coming on soon. Is there anything that's like deeply? I know I talk a lot too because there's so much I want to say. Uh, pardon me for anything that may have gotten in the way of anybody's message, um, listeners and or you. Is there anything like just burning at it, your desire that's like on fire right now that you just want to leave to the world, or just what is before we gotta switch over to the next guest.
You know, really, for me, what's coming up to share is realize that all of your hardships and challenges in life just give you this beautiful ability to be able to relate to people. And that when
Mm.
you choose to be vulnerable and when you choose to be raw and authentic and listen to the things that you want to do, even if they seem scary, that by doing so, you open up so much for others to be able to relate to you and to feel normal and okay and release whatever shame it is that people are holding on to. Because shame and judgment is the two things that's keeping us from experiencing our true divinity. And when you're vulnerable and you risk and you do what you love and you like, you're serving as this beautiful opportunity for others to do so too. So follow your heart, find what you love. When you find what you love, do it wholeheartedly. And I hope to see. Uh, yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to reach out to me personally. I
Yes,
love
yes.
you. You have a ripple effect that's more powerful than anything that you can do on planet Earth other than being. So be.
Just be it. Just be it.
Aho.
Oh, Lakota
And
wants to say
I am. I love
Dakota.
you, brother. Thanks for
I
having
love you
me
too.
on.
Love you so much, brother. Yeah, thank you so much for joining. That was I'm so fulfilled right now. You gonna go enjoy Hawaii for me. I dearly love those
I'm
energies
gonna
out
go
there.
spin my big gigantic staff love tonight for a large group of people. So yeah,
Yes.
bless it out, man. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for this opportunity. Aloha.
Aloha, brother. Aho, matikase.
Oh,
Wopila.
Mitakuye, I am grateful.